Okay, so next we're going to move on to the prototype stuff, which I am very excited to share with you guys because they just got listed on eBay. So
I can remember the Family of Blood one and the Rose and the Doctor.
Nice. I mean, the Family of Blood one we did already have high resolution pictures of the Banes figure.
Okay.
But I mean, we'll get onto him in due course. But I'm going to go through them one by one because there is a lot, and Oh, 100. That's actually quite cheap. 150 quid for the 42 10th Doctor in red spacesuit. Now, what's the difference? Can you tell right off the bat, Stan, what the difference is between this and the official release? We should play like a bingo thing of like the first person to get it.
I used to own this, but without the helmet. Is the difference on the helmet?
Yeah, you got it straight away. But what's the difference?
Is it that bit on top of the helmet?
No.
Is it the two things on the side of the helmet?
No. The sculpt's exactly the same.
Oh, okay.
You got one more guess and then I'll tell you.
Is it that it has clear plastic?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so if you look at the neck piece, the bit with like the two black things, notice how the red is different from the helmet.
Yes.
So the colour of the helmet is inaccurate, as in like it's a much lighter red than it's supposed to be. And whether or not that's worth 150 quid to you guys, I'll let you guys be the judge. But I'd say that that's a pretty reasonable price considering nobody knew about this prototype. So I'm not tempted to buy it, but like if I had a bit more money, then I would be lapping this thing up instantly. But
I'd say it's worth a tenner.
Fair enough. I mean, it is just plastic, and it would probably cost like what 10 pence to make. So, you know, it's all subjective at the end of the day. We've got quite a few to get through, so I'll go through it quickly. The Gel Guard prototype. Essentially, the Three Doctors Gel Guard figure. The only difference between this and the official release, that I can see anyway, is the fact that the eye isn't painted. So that's kind of a cool one to have. But at the same time, it's like £185 for something which only has one tiny difference. It's a one of a kind, but at the same time, it's a bit hard to justify spending that much money.
Is the paint not different at all?
I think it's very similar anyway. It might be like a case different brown or something like that.
I would say that's definitely worth more than the Doctor in spacesuit, at least.
I don't know. I think I'd probably go with the spacesuit. I think the spacesuit wins for me. There's a version of the spacesuit 10 that's really good with a head sculpt. Which is they use the same head sculpt, but it's painted. Like there's a prototype of the because you know it's got like the waxy head. They did a prototype with the paint, and it looks quite good. But yeah, the next few ones aren't anything too special. They're just like test shots. You've got a Perry figure, which is the Caves of Androzani one, I think. So yeah, they're just casted in different coloured plastics. We all know the story has been like it's cheaper to cast them in this coloured plastic to see whether the molds work, so that's how they end up like that. Girl in the Astronaut, I was convinced that this was a different head. It might not be. But still, it's really cool to see something like this, like in the raw plastic colours. Like I don't think I've got the Roman Auton and the Laszlo. But I'd like to own something that was a bit more vibrant.
Yeah, that one would be a pretty neat one to have.
And back in the day, there was a prototype of the astronaut with like glowing green hands.
Ooh.
As well, which I think Captain Jimmy Pie owns that now. We got a peg doll, which is very self-explanatory. There's not really much to it. And then this is quite a cool one. You've got the 10th Doctor with 3D glasses, but in a blue suit, so like it's the wrong Tennant variant.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
It's like the standard Series 2 head sculpt. I don't understand why it's on the blue body, because, like, didn't the 3D glasses figure come out before Series 3? So it's a bit of an odd choice.
Maybe there was gonna be a scene in Series 3 where he wore the 3D glasses and then there wasn't? Maybe?
I'm willing to bet was probably they were going to re-release it, and they kind of just, like, were testing to see if the mold was still working. And, like, just throw it on an old body. That's usually how these things go. Got another test shot, which is just the Leela. Not really much to this. I still don't actually have the original of this figure, the Fendal Leela.
I would love to have the Fendal.
I remember back in the day, like they were on clearance for about 20 quid with those sets.
Wow.
So I really, really regret not picking that thing up. I mean, I'm not a
Yeah.
massive fan of the story, but
Yeah, neither
the
am I.
Fendal looks amazing, and I'd actually
Yeah.
love to own one of those. I keep forgetting that they exist. Speaking of the Fendal, we've got an actual test shot of the thing here. This
Oh,
is very,
no way.
very impressive. I do really like this. Just shows how good the sculpt is.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I mean, is it in scale? I mean, I've not seen the figure. I mean, the story in ages. I don't know whether the figure is to scale or not.
I'd say it is.
Yeah.
I think it's the next one is one that I absolutely love because it's my favorite. One of my favorite figures.
The Drashig in a clear
Yes.
plastic. Oh, that'd be so cool. Like, you stick your hand in it and you can see your
Yeah.
hand.
I
Maybe I
mean,
should
there
just
is-
buy it.
That. Oh, wait, is it still up?
Yeah, it's still up. It's
Oh,
bids
wow.
£225 or buy it now for $315.
Oh, that is so cool.
I know, I want
You
it
should
so
get that.
bad.
You should get that.
Guys, if you want me to do a review of it, then like support the Patreon. Let's get us up to £315 so I can buy a transparent Drashig figure. Next up we got the Melker, which is just another test shot figure, which there's not much to say about this. I mean, I think the Melker is a great figure anyway. One of the best character done. We've got an Idris with green hands.
That's
Not much
just-
to it.
Yeah.
£100, that's not too bad. That's like on the lower end of things, so I'd say
Yeah,
that's
but
pretty
the
reasonable.
thing is, it's just some green hands. That's what you're
True.
paying for, really.
But it's a one of a kind. As in, no
Okay,
others
I
exist.
have a one of a kind here, and that's I wouldn't sell that for too much.
What one of? Go on, I've got your screen up. What one of a kind have you got? I can't see. It's too blurred. The TARDIS thing.
The TARDIS. It's covered in cobweb. That's why.
Time and relative dimensions. Ink spiders. We got a test shot Time Lord, which is very relevant now because we're getting a re-release of this thing. We got a test shot Shara's Jack. Not much to say about this other than the fact that it's green.
Oh! I tell you what. Who wants to see my custom Showers Jack, which went horribly wrong?
I did. Have you got it to hand?
Yep. Hang on. Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay. So the body is okay. So I'll show you that first. I'll just
What
cover the
scale
head.
is this? Is this
It's
5-inch
card
scale?
dimensions.
Okay.
So you can see the body there.
Oh yeah, that works. That works okay.
But you ready for the big reveal?
Oh god, no. Hey, that's not too bad. I've seen
really
way worse than that. So next up, we got the Captain Jack with the different head sculpt.
Oh, I hadn't
Did
seen
you-
this.
Have you not seen this? Okay.
No.
I think Jimmy Pie owns 2, I think. I think it was one which was rejected by John Barrowman, I think. I think the likeness is okay. He's just got like a really big like jaw. It looks a bit awkward as a figure. It looked a bit hunched over. It's not the best, but it's probably not
So
the
is it
worst
just-
likeness they've done.
Is it just the head that's different on this one?
I mean, it's the head and hands. Like the hands are huge.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they didn't quite get this one right. The Master's Column, which there is nothing to talk about there. It's literally just pink plastic. And this was a really interesting one. This is the original prototype of the Tuxedo 10 from 2007. So this was meant to be with the Voyage of the Damned set.
Okay.
Because remember where we got like just a normal trench coat 10th Doctor in that set? This was supposed to be in there. But this is a resin figure, so like it's really brittle.
Oh.
Because like the original like paint masters are always done in resin. It's
Ooh, is that a new head sculpt?
oh I don't know whether that's like the same one as the End of Time head sculpt, but this is the first time it was ever used.
Because it looks quite odd to me.
Yeah, I think it's the paint which kind of makes it look a bit odd. Like the eyebrows are huge.
Didn't we basically get this, but from the Lazarus experiment, just with a different head?
Yeah, but that one has ball jointed arms as well. Like it's.
Oh,
kind of a
yeah, I
different
see.
figure. Then a mummy robot where like the grey is like a much different colour. It's like a beige kind of grey colour, which is funny because I could swear like one of the ones I own has like this colour. Maybe
Yeah,
I've got a prototype and I don't know about it.
That's the
Might
nice
be the
thing,
case.
though. It's sometimes you just think, hang on, that looks just very similar to one that you've got. This doesn't look like a prototype to me. This just looks like the original release.
It is a bit more yellow, from what I can see. But I could swear the one I've got is like this kind of off grey colour, off like yellow kind of thing.
But
I mean,
maybe
I have
it's
to dig in my drawers to try and find it, but
maybe it's just because it's been out in the sun for too long.
yeah, maybe he's like trying to sell a sun-faded figure as a product now. Okay, next up a gel guard again, but the eye's like a bit more pink than usual. There really just isn't anything in it. Not worth £285, I'd say. That's a bit insane. Got the blue plastic Weeping Angel. I don't know like what series this was meant to be from, but you know, not really anything special. We've got an Invasion of Time set where Score is like, it looks like he's either casted in a green plastic or he's painted in a green. God knows why, but like the back of the box is like from the Face of Evil and not the Invasion of Time, so that's how you know it's a prototype.
Jeez, there really are a lot of prototypes here, aren't there?
Yeah, I know. This guy was just clearing out his collection, really. I mean, the difference between this Kylie and the released one is that the paint apps are different. That's like the only difference there is. Looks good though. Now this is the one which has everyone talking, which is the Rose from the Satan Pit. Like, we only ever got like a really low res image of this thing. What do you think of it?
Am I supposed to say anything here?
Why? Do you like it? Do you not?
You know, I'm gonna say it again. Meh.
What? Meh. Well, I guess it's different because like I've seen like the really blurred images of the prototype, and now to actually finally see the real thing, like it's.
Does it even have arm articulation?
Well, it's a resin figure, so like the arms are just like on one swivel. So yeah, I mean it's all very well painted, but like it's a paint master, so it has to be really well painted. But yeah, it's a different head sculpt for Billie Piper as well. Like, we didn't know that.
It's definitely the best head sculpt that there's been for Billie Piper, because the rest are just kind of
I quite like the Series 2 one. I think that one looks okay.
No, the Series 2 one's rubbish.
No, it's actually quite good.
I hate that one.
It's much better than the Battle Pack version. It can be yours for over £550. So,
whoa!
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna buy that with my pocket money.
You're never gonna get a chance to own it again, so like it's just one of those pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gel Guard. I don't really need to go over this. It's a test shot one, and this is another one which caught people's eye, which is a Kess figure. Like, we had no idea this thing existed. Kess from Planet of the Ood. I mean, I can guess why this wasn't released. I mean, like, it looks a bit. How do I say this politely? It looks a bit fatter than the actual actor is. Like, it looks huge. I'm sure the actor was like, I do not look that fat. So I can understand why it wasn't released. And plus, who's gonna pick up a figure of a guard? Like, it's.
Yeah.
It was an odd choice.
It must have been a set that was planned, like maybe like an Ood and him.
A Planet of the Ood set or something like that.
Yeah.
With like a Dr. Donna, Kess and an Ood or something
definitely.
like that. That would have been an okay set, but yeah, I think it's a good likeness. It's just like, it's just too big. But how much do you reckon that's gonna go for? I reckon it's probably gonna go for like £800 or something like that.
Yeah, probably something around that. Maybe a little bit less. I mean, some people are gonna they're gonna spend their rent money on these.
Yeah, I know. Oh, if only I was rich. And then I'd get something that just gather dust in my bedroom. Yeah. Alright, last on this page is the Vesper form. It's quite cool to see this. Like the original test shot version of this thing.
If I were to get one of these, I'd probably get this one. This one's really neat.
I mean, I still don't have the original Vesper form, so...
Yeah, neither do I.
It goes for insane amounts of money. Imagine if this thing went for, like, cheaper than the actual Vesper forms go for.
Well, then it's a good deal, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe I should jump on it. But speaking of sold prototypes, the seller also has sold some. So, like, the first one is just like a fully grey Dalek casted in grey plastic, which is neither here nor there. But that's sold for £200, which is pretty insane.
Yes. I mean, all of these are just way overpriced for what they should be. They're just some plastic. But it's us Who fans who make them these prices for wanting them, so...
Well, we bid on them, so I mean, like, you know.
Yeah.
What can we say? The Toby Z figure, like, the paint is completely different. It's got lighter markings on the face. It's got a blue jumper instead of a grey one. So that's kind of an interesting figure. The only differences between the aged 10th Doctor and the actual one are the paint apps on the face, and the only difference between the Crash Matt Smith is the tie paint apps. They're different. There's not really that much in it, as in... Just get the official releases. Roboman test shot is what it is. Not much to talk about here.
I quite like that.
It is cool.
I think it looks kind of like maybe it could be like a hologram figure.
Actually, this Laszlo actually looks like it could be a hologram because it's like done in a blue plastic.
Ooh.
So that is really cool. I mean, there's like loads of Laszlo prototypes hovering around. Like,
yes, that's true, because no one actually wants them.
No, maybe that's a hint that they're actually going to be re-releasing Laszlo in B&M.
A Laszlo 3-pack.
Oh god, that a bit. I would seriously like clear the shelves if they did that. Hey, this is actually a pretty reasonably priced one. 65 quid for a test shot figure. No, this is a Clara, the 3.75 inch one.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's like a mini figure, you know, you're not really getting that much for your money, but it's at least a lot cheaper.
That's a pretty good price, I'd say.
And they got another Toby Z figure, but it's exactly the same. But yeah, one of these Captain Jacks with the alternate head sculpt, but with a coat this time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could just customize it anyway.
It's just
the one without the coat.
No, you'd have to be an idiot to do that. God, there's somebody who bought like the fully articulated 10th Doctor prototype and customized it. I was so mad. I was so mad at that person. It's like, do not do that. And I remember Richard said to me, like, you're not tempted to take your box prototypes out of the box? And it's like, what? Are you actually insane?
Oh, I would take them out the box.
No, that's idiotic, because at the end of the day, like, those packaging, it does not exist in any other form. So once you've taken it out of the box, that's it. You're never going to get the box things back again. So no, I'd come down to your house and hunt you down if you did that. It's sacrilege. This was an interesting one. Like, I don't think any pictures of this things were released. The 10th Doctor from the Christmas Invasion.
Yeah, I mean, this one's I do quite like this one. I think it would have been a neat one to have, because like I do always like the regeneration figures, and although this isn't like a regeneration figure, it's just quite a neat one to have.
Yeah, I like it as well. It's a resin one, so like the parts are bigger than they should be. There's no articulation, yada yada. But no, really cool. Would love to see an official release of it someday.
It should have been in the Tenant 3-pack.
Yeah, it should have been. They should have just repainted a standard Tenant. No, I'm joking. That seems like something they do. But this was a really interesting one. I had nobody knew this existed, apart from obviously the people in the know. There's a Series 2 Rose. Remember how he said he didn't like that head sculpt? Well, look at this one. Look at this one.
I can't see it yet.
It looks like a Barbie figure.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, like, what is that?
On Earth?
That is just amazing. Oh god, I'm just looking through the chat now. They're kind of just making me laugh. We've got the Baines figure. Like, we've already seen pictures of this thing, so it's not new. Unarticulated, and I think the problem is like it's a bit too big and a little bit out of scale, and possibly the likeness wasn't approved. But it does look like him though. Like, I do think it's a good likeness.
Yeah, I think it's a very good likeness.
But the thing is with actors, like, they always want something changed about the figure, but it's like, you look like that. It's like when Al did like a 3D scan of an actor, and they said, "Oh, this doesn't look right," even though Al said to them, "We literally scanned your face, so this is what you look like."
I think they got the posture perfect on this figure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
and it would have been so neat to have like a full Family of Blood pack with all the family in it.
To be honest, I would put money on the fact that they have all been prototyped.
Yes.
But we just never got them. I remember even as a kid, like, I really, really wanted like the Family of Blood as figures, and we didn't get any of them.